we should be ready to go. Let me turn off this and this. Alright, perfect. Alright, I'm going to show where I left off last time, because I was having a lot of trouble with this a couple weeks ago. I had this, and I don't think this is necessarily bad, and I might use it. Like, I might have a separate sheet for the dwarves that's, you know, a fat one and a thin one. So right now I have this saved under dwarf thin, but I figured out this is kind of where I wound up with how the dwarves look. I've got an idle animation that's a little more smooth than the one I had before, and then I've got a walk animation that it took me a while, but I'm happy with now. No, you don't get to say no. So yeah, this is all here. I'm gonna keep working on this, and I'll probably show it more next stream, but I want to start on these guys, getting them colored and animated. So I'm gonna save the original version, and then we're gonna add at least a brown to it, and probably another. Yeah, they're guys. They're turtle guys. So I think I'm gonna start with just going to a darker green like this. And then I'm also going to go grab a brown. And then we might do away with the white completely, but I kind of like the thumb. They are NPCs, but you can make some of them angry, which is also probably going to be true of the dwarves. Is generally they are friendly, but they will have a potential to be made angry. Let's go ahead and let's just get like a real dark brown color for the shell, and we can change it if we want it later. So yeah, this would probably be like, I don't like that corner being like that. What if it was actually, oop, nope. There's a lot of black on this right now because of how I drew the original sprite, so I might need to clean that up while I'm adding the new color to it, like right here. And then let's just see what this looks like with brown. This is where I might get rid of the white, because then I could have a yellow color if I'm doing 5 colors for the bottom shell. I could also have the shell be all black on the back and have the yellow as a highlight, and then not need the brown at all and keep the white. We'll see. Let's do a yellow real quick. Don't want it too saturated, because I could also use that for a claw color if I want, if it looks okay. Yeah, I don't know if I like that color. It's not bad. Yeah, I like having the brown available. Let's see if maybe this is brown. And then we'll just see how the back of the shell looks if we do this like this. Probably not like that, probably like that. this is... This is like that, and then if we do like a brown highlight over the black, so that the shell does look darker on the back like it would be. That is just better in general, and I think I do like having the white for the claw. I like the little thumb claw that they have. I don't know what it's reminding me. Maybe it is just like Franklin or something, like a cartoon turtle, but the thumb claw reminds me of something specific that's not fully coming to mind right now. I want to see if maybe I can use the darker... Okay, no, the darker green doesn't look good as a highlight for the brown, but that's okay. So got those. I think that should be more like... Yeah, just that part. Maybe like that. So yeah, something like that looks pretty good, and then this can just come over to the other one, and then we'll do the front. I should just use the paint bucket. Oh, no, I shouldn't. Whoops. Yeah, that, between the two, that already makes a huge difference. I kind of want to see if I can cut out a few of the black pixels here and make it look a little neater. Like that, maybe. No. That's almost right. thighs to be black. Thought about doing like this, which isn't bad, but I think they just look better dark. Let's see how brown looks. Yeah, no, definitely black. I think this needs to stay like that. I thought I wanted the feet to be placed a little further apart too, but I think they probably should be where they started. Yeah, the legs look all wonk now. I think I'll probably, let's just cut that and put the original back. But I do think I want like a couple pixels up here to make it look like it's coming out of the shell. I don't know what to... This leg specifically is the one that's kind of giving me issues. It's just weirdly proportioned. Yeah, I think leaving them together is probably what we do. Like, I think that's as correct as I'm gonna get what I'm looking for before I start doing the animations. And then I don't think I have an issue with the front or the back sprite, so we can just jump right into animating them now. So have the arms come down. I think this should be like a really gradual, slow shift. this real quick. So yeah, not that slow. I gotta go back to the... Set these all to 100 to start. So yeah, how can I make that even more gradual without adding more frames is the question. Yeah, that's too much of that. But some of that's working to make it look a little more slow. Might make this 150, and then this one 150. It's just too much. I don't know. I don't know why they have that. Like, so with some of them, I mean, some of it is like it started in like fighting games, and that's kind of just how it's always been. Like, but like with some of them, you're trying to like convey that they're like standing there breathing. Um, and because you have such a small surface area, it's hard to do like something subtle, like a chest rising and falling. So it's easier to do it like with this. But like if I had like a bigger sprite, like a 256 by 256, instead of, this little area here is 32 by 32. If I had like 8 times as much area, I could like have something really subtle, like 6 frames of a chest rising and falling, and it would be easier to animate that because you have more pixels to work with. So a lot of times, because you have a smaller surface area, you wind up with these more like stylized, like chibi adjacent characters that have a lot more like big movements than they do uh, being more refined and subtle with how they move. So yeah, like with the dwarf, you know, I wound up with this just 4 frame bob, but because this is a turtle, I wanted his bob to be more gradual, so it's not as sharp of a movement. So yeah, most of the time, I'm gonna do a 4 frame idle loop. But I chose to go with 6 because 6 is like, I don't really, if I can help it, other than with the player character, I don't want to have most of the animations be more than 6 frames per loop. I might go for 8 in some instances, like with bosses, and like the player character, I'm probably going to have a couple 8 or 10, maybe 12 frame loops. Yeah, point being, like, you can't really convey, like, if I had more colors, I could probably do like subtle changes in like the shading, and I could make this lighter, make a little bit move, make all of it move, then transition back to darker, and I could get like a chest breathing. The turtles don't breathe that way anyway, but like for any sprite, you could probably do that for something this small if you wanted that. But yeah, it helps, especially like modern games where you're doing this style, but you're not you're still like modernizing how it's made. uh in older games, they people didn't really care if it was just a static image, but now like if this is static and holding completely still, in a lot of instances people will just read that as boring. And I don't know. These guys, they might be moving around constantly, so it may not matter if they have an idle loop. But some of them might be standing in one place, so it just helps like break up the monotony. Like, it's sort of the same thing as like if there was fire on the map, you would want the fire to be flickering like it's a fire, instead of just being um just being a static picture of fire with some light around it. It helps things from it helps things feel more alive, even if this is like how nothing moves, because nothing bobs up and down like that, really. Like I said, that's a like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat type of thing that bled out into other games, and now it's just kind of the standard. Like I said, if I was doing larger sprites across the board, which I've thought about doing. I've thought about doing a game that's drawn on a larger canvas. I would probably do more subtle movement for stuff like that. Okay, let's see. This is the same. Let's do... Normally I'd do the back sprite first, but let's do the front sprite next. So yeah, hands come down. And I'll go ahead and turn on symmetry for this. I think I'm also going to cut into the shell a little bit there. And then bring this over. Oh, oops. This is supposed to be here. Okay, we'll just redo that. Make sure I'm on the right frame this time. Perfect. This frame. It's just the arms and the shell starts to come down there all the way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I went on a little spiel about the question you asked. So if you want to go back and listen to that, you can. I just kind of talked about it. Mainly idle bobs came over from fighting games, and now they're kind of standard because it keeps things from it makes things look more alive. Okay, so arms, and then the whole thing comes down. Probably the shell as well will all come down in one tick. Oh, I should bring this over. I think actually, maybe if I do this. Now I think that stays. But I kind of want the shell to just be like all the way like this. And then the shading will come down more. And then this frame is... it's 5. But the arms have started to come back up. Okay, that's really aggressive. I think it's just too much of the shell is moving, so I can cut that out a little bit. Or I can do this maybe. Start to bring it down like that. And maybe also have it like this, so that it's like working its way back up. Yeah, I think this is too much. I think it was better. Yeah. Just that part kind of coming down like it would be a slight lean forward, I think makes more sense. Alright, let's save and bring this over here. What's going on with the head that's causing that little gradual? Good, because that's right. Yeah, so this should be here. And we'll just add some extra neck there. Do not know if this is... Okay, this is shuffling. Just making sure. think that's a... Oh, I just made my own stream live. I think that's about as good as that idle's going to get for the moment. I think I'm going to end it early because it's been almost an hour. And I just wanted to do a quick one because it's been a couple weeks since I did the dwarf. So next time I'll probably do the walk animation for this guy, or maybe go to attack animations on the dwarf. One of the two. We'll see.